BeBop pros. He is a scary laner. Going against a good BeBop is super frustrating. He will constantly hook you, bomb you, and uppercut you consistently, and you will never have full HP in lane. He's a roamer. His whole life's goal is to find people on the map, bomb them, or drag them underneath towers, drag them into your teammates, and kill you. He's very strong early to mid game. If you can get a lot of bomb stacks during the early phase, his bombs hurt so much throughout the game. So if you let BeBop get ahead early, you're gonna have a really rough time in your game. Now, BeBop cons. You're gonna have to practice your hooks. If you can't land hooks, this character isn't gonna be very good for you or the team. He does fall off quite a bit late game. He does not translate very well in the late game unless you go more into a gun investment build. I'd say his bombs kind of fall off late game if the team actually gets counterspell, dispel magic, anything that will dispel your bombs or mitigate your bomb damage. BeBop's first ability, uppercut. This applies melee damage, also gives him 18% of missing HP. So if you hit him, you'll get some HP back. You can displace your enemy anywhere you want. If you hit them with your uppercut, it applies damage as they land onto the ground to everybody around them. BeBop sticky bombs. The more stacks you can get in a game, the more damage your bomb will do. Pretty easy, you just run up to your enemy and just sticking bombs on them until you have so many stacks you create a nuke, and you can just one tap any squishies you see. His grapple arm, or his hook. This is how he primarily ganks and isolates targets and drags them across the map into your team. Hyper Beam. This is his ult, but it applies a slow and does a bunch of spear damage, and it's just a massive beam that goes across the entire map, and it will chunk people in team fights. You can also use this when you're ganking. BeBop's primary combo is gonna be hook, uppercut, and bomb. While you hook them, you can do a 180 spin and then uppercut them into the direction towards your team or towards your walker. This is how you're gonna solidify a lot of your kills. You can also do the exact same combo, but just apply your ult at the end, or after bombing the enemy, or right after you hook them, you can apply a slowing hex, a curse, or silence wave within this combo.
That's a big handshake.
I use a hybrid build for BeBop. That's what I feel like is best for the character, in my opinion. You start off with Spirit, and you kind of just get a bunch of bomb stacks in the beginning, because in the beginning your bombs do hit pretty hard during the early game, but they do eventually fall off towards the late game. And this will rotate your build from a spear build to a gun build, which is pretty nice and pretty balanced throughout the whole game. It looks like a pretty complicated build. I don't really think so. It'll tell you exactly what you're trying, or not exactly what you're buying, but it'll tell you, 2 spirit items, a couple green items, 1 gun item. After a certain point in the game, you'll decide if you want to go full spirit bop or full gun bop. I think this build has pretty much everything you'll need in order to play BeBop. Alright, when it comes to kind of the BeBop mentality, during lane, I get some people go uppercut first, just for the damage you can do with the creeps. You can punch creeps into the enemy or into just the creep wave, and it will cause damage and lower the health of the creep wave or the enemy. But I think bomb is going to be really nice in the beginning. That way you can start getting your bomb stacks really quick. And when it comes to bombing people in lane, a lot of people will throw with BeBop by just running down the enemy and trying to get as many bomb stacks as possible. The problem with this is you'll get 1 bomb stack, but you'll die and feed the enemy, and you'll have only 1 bomb stack where you could have probably had 3 by the time, if you're taking your time and looking for smart engagements. I just kind of find opportune times to go in and get the bomb stack. I am not just going to W key towards the enemy. I'll try to hide myself into the veil, and as I'm hiding in the veil, I might hit some creeps, shoot the creeps in the veil, because they're obviously not going to try to push me there. If they do, they'll just give me a free bomb stack. So typically, I'll hide behind corners or in the veils, shoot the creeps a little bit, and they're going to play pretty passive because they do not want to give me bomb stacks. I try to hide either to the right side of the lane or to the left side of the lane, maybe go into invade their jungles at times when I hear them and try to just pop a bomb in there real quick, or maybe gank them, depending on what the situation is. But I would say my biggest piece of advice when it comes to bombing people is take your time. No rush to find a bad trade where literally never going in for another bomb stack because you're just too low to actually get another bomb stack without dying. So you always want to try to stay healthy with BeBop when you're getting a bomb stack. Always trying to find smart engagement. I think where people probably struggle the most is with his hooks. Even I struggle with my hooks at times. I find if you slow down a little bit and you really look at what the enemy's doing, you just kind of wait for them to waste all their stamina because they panic as soon as they see BeBop come around the corner. They're gonna try to go left and right and just dash as fast as they can towards the left or right. You just wait until all their stams are out, and once they have no more stam, that's when you can take your time and start looking for a hook. The more you try to rush the hook, the more likely you'll probably miss the hook. So just be aware of that. I always find myself getting more hooks by just kind of slowing down and kind of watching where the enemy's going to go last. How you play BeBop, whether it's gun or spirit, you typically want to try to be as in many fights as you can because you are very strong during the early to mid game. Your bombs do a lot of damage if you're able to actually get a lot of bomb stacks during laning phase or kind of after laning phase. And don't hesitate to use your beam. Your beam comes up fairly quickly. It doesn't take too long for your beam to come back up, so any chance you can get a kill, just use your beam, even if it's just one dude, right? One kill is gonna be pretty helpful throughout the whole game, right? That's one person down where your team can actually take advantage of and have numbers doing something else, either taking centers or going for an urn. Now, when it comes to urn fights, I find myself kiting a lot with BeBop around the bridge on the urn fights. I'll bomb, and I tend to go more towards gun. I'll bomb someone and then shoot any squishies I can find, and then I'll just keep running around, uppercutting people, getting a little bit of health back, and just constantly trying to kite people around the bridge, or under the bridge, or through the veil. Whatever I can do to stay alive as long as I can during the Urn King of the Hill. Other than that, BeBop's not really too hard of a character to play. The hardest part is consistently landing hooks. That can be a little bit of a struggle. Some days you can get hooks, some days you just can't. So if you feel like you're missing a lot of hooks, probably want to slow down, wait for the enemy to use all their movement. Also, knockdown is pretty nice on BeBop with slowing hex. Either one of those make getting hooks a lot easier. And also don't forget about curse. Curse on BeBop is phenomenal because whoever you hook and then curse is probably gonna die immediately, especially if you have a team that's with you all the time. Even if you're by yourself, if you're doing more of a gun bop, if you curse and you're gun bop, you're gonna murder that one person you're going after, especially if they're squishy. And your targets, and typically when you're playing BeBop, you want to find the squishy targets. You don't want to like hook an Abrams into your team, right? Because they're tanks and they're gonna initiate with that fight. So just be careful on who you're hooking. Like if you're going against a Holiday, a Lash, any kind of pick hero like Paradox, man, you will melt their face. They do not like BeBop's around because BeBop is pretty tanky and he will output a lot of damage. So do beware of what targets you are picking. And then that's all I really have for BeBop. He's not too hard of a character to play. I think macro-wise, he's probably a little harder to understand, so you just have to have some game time on him. Let me know in the comments on who you would want me to do next. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And other than that, I'll see you guys later. Bye!